Hi, this is a really gentle, slow moving exercise that's going to help to kind of calm down your nervous system. And it's really encouraged not to do this on a very frequent basis. So if you're going to do this fear paralysis reflex integration exercise, you want to make sure it's not done back-to-back days. I would always recommend at least one day, if not 2 days, in between doing this whole sequence. I'm going to try to go not too slowly just for the sake of this video, but I'm going to say different little names for each part of the movement. So I'd recommend you watch the video, write down the names once you kind of know what that is, get familiar with the movements, and then go at the pace that's really comfortable for you. And doing with breath is really important. So it's going to be hard for me to breathe in, breathe out, that kind of thing, so you would know. But it's at the rate of you taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out. It's not about getting it done. It's about getting the right movement in the right order in the most gentle, calming way possible. It'd be the same thing if you're then helping someone to do it. If you say you're doing this with a young child to help calm down the nervous system and you're doing these movements with their legs or with their arms, it's not meant to be quick and get it done. It's about taking the time for your brain and the nervous system to connect as one and then kind of down-regulate its hyperactivity. So I'm going to show you the movements. I recommend starting with 1 of each and then building up to 2 of each and then go to 3 of each, and that's it. And just do it 1 cycle through in this order. So you're going to just lay down on your back and you're going to start. Let's go a little bit higher here. You're going to start with just taking inventory of your body and just relaxing a little bit. We're going to start with the knees bent. And this one's just called the butterfly, okay? All you're going to do is you're going to lower your legs to one side as far as you're comfortable. You may not go as far as me, you might go more. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And then you go to the other side. Now, if I were to breathe with that, I would probably take a deep breath in. And I would breathe out on the down. I'd breathe in on the in. And breathe out on the down. Breathe in to come back in. So that was 2 times. If you've done it more than once or twice, you can do it 3 times. Then you go down and you do what's called the flamingo. So you're going to slide one foot, so it's turning out at the hip, so the bottom of my foot is connecting with the opposite leg. And I slow down. So that was 1 on the right side. I then do it on the left side. If I were to do that with breathing, it would be take a deep breath in, big breath out, find the off, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So I just did again 2 cycles. That's the flamingo because it's a 1-leg stance. Then what you do is do both of them, and we call that the froggy. So you'd have it so that your hips still turn out and your feet go together. So it looks like this. And then back down. So with breath, if you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and rest. So again, that was 2 cycles. So that's called the frog because it looks like you're jumping like a frog. The next one is, I just call it a meatball or a bowling ball. You're basically making your body into like a tight ball. So you can do it where you lift them all up together. I don't think you have to use your arms. I just tend to want to do that, but you don't have to do that. And then lowering it down. Now that's hard work and my back wants to arch, so I don't tend to do that one. Some people find that really easy, and if it's really easy to do that and your back doesn't arch, go for it. I find that a little hard, so I break it up. So I bend it up on one side, I come up, I lower down, and then slide my feet. I find that much more calm, so that's what I'm going to do. If you're going to breathe, you breathe in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. So that's the meatball or the bowling ball. Then there's the scissors. I take one ankle and I cross it over the other ankle. I bring it back in, cross the other ankle, and land coming back. I don't think it matters which foot moves first. I usually start with my dominant, but I don't think it necessarily matters as long as you're comfortable with whatever you're doing. If you want to breathe, this is how I would do it. Breathing in, breathing out and moving. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Make it as light and easy as you possibly can. So those are the legs. Then we go into our arms. So let's say we start on, we'll do this side because that looks like my right side. Because I'm right-handed, I would go in with my right and then out. I'd switch and go with my other arm. Then because my right arm started, it ends on the top. So it ends up here. So that was one cycle with the right arm. If you do it 3 times, you do the right again. And go back and forth and this, that was 2 times. And then right, left, and so on. But then we do the opposite side for the next cycle. So then I start with my left. Much slower than what I'm doing. Because I start with my left, I land on the top with my left. And I would do that starting on the same arm 2 more times. So we're doing full cycles. And I would just breathe relaxing. So that's the mummy. So it looks like you're laying there like a mummy, okay, without the legs crossed. And then the last part is just nodding yes or basically up and down slowly. So you're in neutral. And I breathe in. I look up. I breathe out. I come back to neutral. I breathe in. I look up. I breathe out. And I would do that 3 times. And that's the full field paralysis cycle.